You wake up in the same bed. You eat the same breakfast. You drive the same route to the same job where you do the same tasks with the same people. You come home, sit in the same spot on the couch, and watch the same shows until you fall asleep. Tomorrow, you'll do it all again. And the scary part? You think this is safety. You think this is peace. You think you've finally figured it out. But something inside you is screaming. A small voice you've been drowning out with Netflix and scrolling. It whispers that you were meant for more, that there's a version of you capable of things you can't even imagine yet. And that voice is right. Because while you've been building a comfortable life, your brain has been quietly murdering your potential. Here's the truth nobody wants to hear. Comfort is the most dangerous place you can be. We've been sold a lie that the goal of life is to reach a state where nothing challenges you, where everything is predictable, where risk is eliminated. We call it making it, but what we're actually doing is choosing a slow, invisible death. Your brain isn't designed to help you grow. It's designed to keep you alive. And to your ancient, survival-focused nervous system, growth equals danger. Change equals threat. Discomfort equals potential death. So your brain does everything in its power to keep you exactly where you are, wrapped in the suffocating blanket of comfort, convinced you're safe when you're actually dying. This is the comfort trap. And once you're in it, your brain becomes your warden. It doesn't lock you in with chains, it locks you in with dopamine hits, familiar routines, and the seductive whisper that says, "Why risk what you have?" And the terrifying answer is, because what you have is slowly erasing who you could become. Think about the last time you thought about making a real change, starting that business, ending that relationship that stopped growing years ago, moving to a new city, learning that skill that's always intimidated you. What stopped you? If you're honest, it wasn't circumstances. It was the voice in your head that said, "But you're comfortable here. Why mess with what works?" That voice isn't wisdom. It's your brain trying to prevent you from activating its threat response. Because to your nervous system, the unknown is automatically classified as dangerous. Doesn't matter if the unknown leads to everything you've ever wanted. If it's unpredictable, your brain flags it as a threat and generates every possible reason why you should stay exactly where you are. This is the predictability bias. Your brain craves certainty above all else, even when certainty means stagnation, even when certainty means trading your potential for the illusion of security. It would rather you be comfortable and stagnant than uncertain and growing, because growth requires stepping into situations your brain can't predict and control. Alex was a talented designer stuck in a corporate job he hated. Every Sunday night, he'd feel the dread creeping in. Every morning, he'd drag himself to the office, do work that didn't matter, and count the hours until he could go home. He'd been doing this for 6 years. 6 years of comfort. 6 years of a steady paycheck, predictable schedule, and slowly dying inside. His friends kept asking why he didn't freelance or start his own studio. He had the skills, he had the connections, he had the portfolio. But every time he thought about leaving, his brain flooded him with fears. What if clients don't come? What if he can't pay rent? What if he fails and has to crawling back? So he stayed, comfortable, safe, slowly watching the designer he could have become fade away.
What Alex didn't realize was that his brain was lying to him, not because it wanted him to suffer, but because it genuinely believed the corporate job was safer. Known misery beats unknown possibility every time for a brain optimized for survival. His nervous system would rather he be depressed and predictable than uncertain and alive. This is the devil you know syndrome. Your brain will choose familiar pain over unfamiliar growth because at least with familiar pain, it knows what to expect. It knows how to cope. It knows you'll survive. But growth? Growth means stepping into territory your brain hasn't mapped yet. And unmapped territory triggers every alarm system evolution built into you. Here's what makes the comfort trap so insidious. It doesn't feel like a trap. It feels like wisdom. It feels like being responsible. It feels like you've matured past the naive dreams of your youth and accepted reality. But what you've actually accepted is your brain's risk avoidance programming disguised as wisdom. Because your brain is incredibly good at generating rational-sounding reasons for why you should stay comfortable. It doesn't say, "I'm scared of the unknown." It says, "Now isn't the right time." It doesn't say, "Change activates my threat response." It says, "You need to be more prepared first." It doesn't say, "I'm choosing stagnation over growth." It says, "You're being realistic." And you believe it, because the voice sounds like you. It sounds like your own thoughts, your own logic, your own decision-making. But it's not. It's your nervous system hijacking your conscious mind to keep you in the comfort zone, where threats are minimized and predictability is maximized. The second mechanism of the comfort trap is what neuroscientists call neuroplasticity shutdown. Your brain physically changes based on what you do. When you consistently challenge yourself, learn new things, step into discomfort, your brain creates new neural pathways. It stays flexible, adaptable, capable. But when you repeat the same routines day after day, your brain stops building new connections. Think of your brain like a muscle. When you lift weights, muscle fibers tear and rebuild stronger. When you don't use a muscle, it atrophies. Your brain works the same way. Comfort is atrophy. Every day you spend in the predictable routine is a day your brain's capacity for growth, learning, and adaptation weakens. This is the atrophy effect. You're not just maintaining your current level of capability when you stay comfortable, you're actively losing capability. Your brain is pruning away the neural pathways you're not using. Your capacity for risk tolerance decreases. Your ability to handle uncertainty diminishes. Your threshold for discomfort lowers. Comfort doesn't preserve you, it diminishes you. Maria used to be sharp, quick-witted, creative, full of ideas. She'd moved to a new city, started a startup, learned 3 languages, traveled solo through countries where she didn't speak the language. Her brain was a high-performance engine because she was constantly forcing it into new, challenging situations. Then she settled down, got a stable job, bought a house in the suburbs, established a routine. She told herself she'd earned the comfort after all those years of hustle. But 5 years later, she noticed something terrifying. When her company asked her to lead a new project that required learning new software, she felt paralyzed. When a friend suggested they take a trip somewhere new, she felt anxious rather than excited. Simple challenges that she would have laughed at 5 years ago now felt overwhelming. Her brain had adapted to comfort, and in adapting to comfort, it had lost its capacity for challenge. The Maria who could handle uncertainty and thrive in chaos was gone, replaced by someone whose nervous system now classified even mild unpredictability as threatening. She hadn't just stopped growing, she'd actually regressed. This is what the comfort trap does. It convinces you you're maintaining yourself when you're actually dismantling yourself. It tells you you're being smart when you're actually being scared. It whispers that you have plenty of time when the window of your potential is quietly closing. The third mechanism is the most dangerous: identity calcification. When you stay in comfort long enough, you start to identify with your limitations. You start to believe that who you are right now is who you'll always be, that your current capabilities define your permanent ceiling, that growth was something you did in your youth, and now you're just managing the person you've become. But that's a lie. Humans are capable of radical transformation at any age. Your identity isn't fixed. It's a story you keep telling yourself, and stories can be rewritten. But not if you're trapped in comfort. Because comfort requires you to believe you've already found yourself, when the truth is you've just stopped looking. This is the false arrival. You start to think you've reached the destination when you've actually just stopped moving. You call it finding yourself when you've actually just gotten too comfortable to keep searching. You mistake stagnation for stability and convince yourself you're done growing. Think about who you were 5 years ago. Would that version of you be proud of who you are now? Or would they be disappointed that you settled, that you chose the comfortable path over the path that scared you, that you let your potential shrink to fit your fear? Here's the brutal reality. Every day you stay in comfort is a day you're choosing your current limitations over your future possibilities. Every morning you wake up and do the same thing you did yesterday. You're voting for who you are now and against who you could become. And the worst part, you won't notice it happening. The comfort trap doesn't announce itself. You don't wake up one day and realize you've wasted years. It's gradual, imperceptible, one comfortable choice at a time. You trade pieces of your potential for pieces of predictability until one day you look up and the person you could have been is so far away you can't even see them anymore. So, how do you escape? First, you have to recognize that discomfort is the price of admission for growth, not optional discomfort, necessary discomfort. Your brain will never stop trying to pull you back to comfort. That's its job. But your job is to override that programming and choose growth anyway. This doesn't mean being reckless. It means being intentional. It means looking at your life and asking, where have I chosen comfort over growth? Where have I let fear disguise itself as wisdom? Where am I playing it safe at the cost of becoming who I'm capable of being?
Start small. Do one thing every day that makes you uncomfortable. Not dangerous, uncomfortable. Have the conversation you've been avoiding. Learn the skill that intimidates you. Go to the place you've never been. Lift the weight that feels too heavy. Your brain will scream at you. Let it scream. Do it anyway. This is the discomfort practice. You're not trying to eliminate the fear response. You're training yourself to act despite it. You're proving to your nervous system that discomfort doesn't equal danger, that uncertainty doesn't equal death, that growth is possible and you're capable of it. Second, ruthlessly audit your routines. Routines are necessary for efficiency, but they become prisons when they're the only thing you do. If your entire life is routine, you're not living, you're repeating. Ask yourself, what am I doing out of habit that no longer serves me? What am I maintaining simply because I've always done it this way? Alex finally left his corporate job, not because it got easier, because he got tired of watching himself die. The first 6 months of freelancing were terrifying. Uncertain income, no structure, constant challenges he didn't know how to handle. His brain was in full alarm mode. But something else happened. He started feeling alive again. The designer he thought was dead started coming back. Not because freelancing was comfortable, because it demanded growth. Third, surround yourself with people who are growing. Comfort is contagious. So is growth. If everyone around you is playing it safe, staying in jobs they hate, maintaining relationships that don't challenge them, that becomes your normal. But if you surround yourself with people who are taking risks, learning, evolving, suddenly your brain recalibrates what's possible. This is the environmental recalibration. Your nervous system doesn't just respond to your own experiences, it responds to what it observes in your environment. If everyone around you is comfortable and stagnant, your brain logs that as the safe path. If everyone around you is uncomfortable and growing, your brain starts to accept that as normal. Fourth, make friends with failure. The comfort trap keeps you locked in because your brain has convinced you that failure is catastrophic. But failure isn't catastrophic, it's information. It's proof that you tried something beyond your current capability. It's the only way to find the edges of your potential. Maria started saying yes to projects that scared her. She failed at several of them, and you know what happened? Nothing catastrophic. She learned, she adjusted, she tried again. And slowly, her brain started to realize that failure wasn't the threat it had been predicting. The paralysis started to lift.
the capacity for challenge started coming back. Every time you fail and survive, you're training your brain that its threat predictions are exaggerated. You're expanding your comfort zone, not by making it more comfortable, but by proving that discomfort is survivable. Here's what nobody tells you about potential. It has an expiration date. Not because you get too old or it's too late, because if you don't use it, your brain literally dismantles it. The neural pathways you're not strengthening are being pruned away. The capabilities you're not challenging are atrophying. The version of you that could have been is fading with every comfortable day you choose.
This isn't motivational fluff. This is neuroscience. Your brain is a use-it-or-lose-it organ. If you're not growing, you're actively shrinking. The comfort trap wants you to believe you can pause, that you can maintain yourself in stasis while you figure things out, that you can come back to growth later when the timing is better. But there is no pause button on neuroplasticity. Every day, your brain is either building capacity or losing it based on what you demand of it. So here's the question you need to answer honestly. Is your current comfortable life worth the cost of who you could become? Is the predictability worth the potential? Is the safety worth the slow death of the person you were meant to be? Because that's the trade you're making every single day you stay comfortable. And the terrifying part is that your brain will never tell you you're making this trade. It will tell you you're being smart, being realistic, being mature. It will generate 1,000 rational reasons why comfort is the right choice. But deep down, beneath all the rationalization, you know the truth. You can feel the person you're capable of being knocking on the walls of the comfortable cage you've built. You can feel your potential suffocating under the weight of routine and safety. You can feel time passing while you tell yourself you'll take the risk tomorrow. Tomorrow is the favorite word of the comfort trap. Tomorrow I'll start. Tomorrow I'll change. Tomorrow I'll take the leap. But tomorrow never comes because your brain makes sure it doesn't. It keeps you in the eternal today of comfort and routine and slowly diminishing capability. The only way out is to stop negotiating with your fear. Stop trying to make growth comfortable. Stop waiting for the perfect moment when your brain finally stops screaming. It won't. Your nervous system will fight you every step of the way. That's its job. Your job is to grow anyway, to step into discomfort anyway, to choose uncertainty over stagnation anyway, to demand more of yourself than your brain wants to give anyway. Because the alternative is spending the rest of your life wondering what you could have been if you'd just been brave enough to be uncomfortable. And that's a heavier weight than any challenge you'll face in growth. Your potential is dying in the comfort you've built. The question is, are you going to let it?